From the moment I came here, clear back at interview time, and I walked in the walls of this building, you can totally feel God's presence.
There's just this different feel. Like, it feels warm, it feels like part of this like little family.
You know, the kids are excited when we wake up in the morning. They're excited to come here. I love how they're met at the door.
God is at work here, and it's hard to even talk about it without getting emotional, because you walk in the doors every day and you get to see God working through the kids and the students and in our own lives and in their lives.
Legacy is truly a unique place where not only can students come and learn that biblical worldview, but we put the emphasis back on the parents. One of our main pillars is that partnership with parents, and we know that everything starts at home. The parents are the primary disciple maker for their children, and we don't want to replace that. We want to promote that. And whatever we can do to come alongside parents and students and help them prepare for the future is what we want to do here at Legacy.
We basically have homeschooled for about 13 years. They're learning things that they would have learned as a homeschool, as we homeschooled before. All of our curriculum was biblically based, and now they come home and they're learning their verses, and they're learning Bible, and so everything just meshes well with our family. It's perfect.
I think when we talk to a lot of our families, they want the kids raised with a biblical worldview, but there's only a few hours at the end of the day for family time. And so we're just that extra 8 hours of the day where they're getting that backup at school for what the families are trying to lay as their foundation at home.
There's a difference between godly wisdom and worldly wisdom, and it seems like the world's going in a direction that divide's getting bigger. Our kids are getting the important things like math and that, but what's really important for us as parents and with our beliefs is that they have a solid foundation, that the things we talk about at home are reinforced at school. That's why we love Legacy. I mean, you're getting the best, you're getting education, but you're getting something even more important than education.
I've seen the teachers really lean into that calling of raising disciples and growing disciples. I've watched them pray with their kids and encourage them and grow them and talk them through tough things, and I think that's where it's unique to have that foundation of Christ and be working towards that goal of helping them love Jesus.
One of our goals is for students to leave here as godly leaders and to build that biblical worldview foundation that they can stand on firmly when they come across those secular settings or those conversations.
You know, I've been doing parent-teacher conferences for over 20 years now, and I always say a little prayer in my head before every conference, but this year it was so nice to be able to pray with the parents before we began and just ask God to not only help the kids in their education, but to grow and love Him more.
And Mrs. Marsh was looking at our kid like we're not just talking about the grades. It was, how do we get your daughter to be more confident in her answers, to be more self-assured? Not confidence in the works, but like who she is and as a child of God.
Yeah, discipleship making is a huge part of Legacy, and how we view that here is we define it as leading others into loving obedience to Jesus. And I think we're truly doing it, not even from a student and teacher aspect, but even as a board member. Our main question, our main concern every time we're making decisions for the school is, how is this equipping people to lead children into loving obedience to Jesus? Another highlight for my family is the Friday morning chapel. I've got to witness that and just sense God in the worship time and the guest speaker time, and it's just a real highlight for my wife and kids to enjoy that every week.
It's always amazing to us to see all of the parents, grandparents, friends there on Friday mornings for chapel. What's happening here on Friday mornings is, just outstanding.
You're surrounded by families that are like-minded. Everybody has common goals. You have similar worldviews. You have people that appreciate a biblical education, and it comes out not only through the parents but through the relationships with the kids.
Yeah, if a family is considering Legacy and they're having doubts, especially on the financial side, I would tell them or advise them just to remove all financial questions and ask them, is this truly what they want their students to education to look like? And if it is, I truly believe the finances will take care of itself. For example, this first year, we had 15 families impacted by donors who gave over $50,000 in assistance to not only help pay for tuition or offer discounts, but just to come alongside them and help them through that process.
Obviously, education costs money, and so if there weren't donors, then we wouldn't be able to take advantage of what Legacy offers.
Like the scholarship system's pretty unbelievable. It's anonymous, so people don't know. I mean, so you don't have to worry about people knowing your personal finances and that. But also, I mean, you look at how much we spend on stupid things. I mean, we spend $4,000 eating out a year. Probably more than that. Yeah, and it's just, you can make it work.
And I do believe that in life you have to take some things, in stride and take challenges that you maybe think are too big or things that make you uncomfortable, and those things are what lead you into being a much more diversified person, patient person, understanding person. So I can tell you from our end, we'd make the decision 10 out of 10 times again to bring them out here.
I mean, your kids are with you a very short amount of time. Compare that out to how long your kids are going to live, hopefully. It's pretty marginal cost, so it's well worth it.
God sees the whole picture, and we only have one puzzle piece. And after I got home last night, I thought, goodness, we made this decision not having any idea, maybe one piece of the 100-piece puzzle, and it's all coming together, and it's beautiful.
So the teachers are not only educating our kids, but they're discipling our kids. The character development, spiritual development, discipling. Our kids are growing in their faith, are learning godly truths. That's going to be with them forever. It's an awesome foundation.
I mean, the main reason we homeschooled was because we wanted to teach them everything from a biblical perspective and a biblical worldview. And so to be able to have Legacy kind of fill that piece, it just mirrored what we wanted to do.
We can't control our kids, unfortunately, when they get older, but if we train them in the way, it's going to give them a whole heck of a lot better shot.
In one of our lessons this week, it's about we were dropping things in water and watching the ripples come out from whatever you dropped. And we dropped small things in there, and we talked about how the things that we do in our lives have an impact, not only in our school, not only in our community, but can throughout the world. By us learning the things that we're learning here, we're learning how to be kind, we're learning about God and what He wants us to do, we're making ripples. And we're being able to take those ripples into our school, into our communities, and throughout the world, and that's what God calls us to do.